Hello, this is just a demo of the front end I've been working on. It's called Arcadia. It uses a few systems that I haven't seen other front ends use and that I wanted in a front end. So one of those main things was having a web interface to be able to administrate the cabinet without having to actually open up the cabinet all the time and pull out a keyboard and all that sort of stuff every time you wanted to add some more ROMs or whatever. So this web interface here, so we can add new platforms and all that sort of stuff, but I've added some already and filled in their details. So as you can see here, we've got Super Nintendo, so I'll just open that up and you can see it's just got the details of where the front end will find the emulator, where it will find its ROMs, what it should run to load up each game. This in the final version, of course, as I should say as a preface of all of this, that it is very beta and very alpha what you're viewing here. It's sort of just a demo of what it could be and what it's going to be. So you can see the interface is a bit messed up. I'm trying to get it to line up a bit better, but the this string here is a bit confusing at the moment. So all it's actually doing is actually just saying this is the path to the emulator, so it uses this path. Load up this ROM path with this ROM's file name. There'll be almost like a wizard for doing this in the final version. The path to the videos and the path to the images. And the NES one has a similar thing, so the NES ROMs are named NES. You can see here they're just all named NES. There's the emulator and a very similar load path. So I'm going to here. There's no games attached to this platform yet. So at the moment there's two ways of being able to import the games. So there's importing games from an XML file. So these are like the Hyperspin XML files you can get. It will also import the what are they called? No intro XML files. And you can also just import the game information literally just from the ROM folder. So for a collection that's large like this, it wouldn't be best to do that because there's just a ridiculous amount of ROMs. And also you can see here, because this is a complete collection, you've got a lot of ROMs, like Adam's Family is repeated 3 times. So if you did the import from folder, it's going to import those 3 times. So we'll go back. So my SNES ROMs though, I only have a few. So if this is how you, and I could be naming them anything, so if you only need to have a few ROMs files, then you can just do this way. So we'll just show you how that works. And that imports the ROMs, activates them just because it knows they exist. It knows that they're files here, and now they're in the database. So you can see here we've got a little edit, and that's just to edit the information of the ROM itself. And we've got a page where we can view the information. Now I already have a lot of images and stuff associated with these files. So to show you how it works, I'll actually just go into this images folder and the clear logos. So I've got a lot of them, so we'll just get rid of the Contra ones. If I can find them. You can probably see it and I can't. Where is it? There it is. Alright, we'll get rid of that Contra logo. So now we have a placeholder up there, and we can do the similar thing for the screenshot. So like most other front ends, these files just use the same file name as the ROM itself, but as you'll see in a moment, we can there it is. Just refresh that. So that's got rid of the placeholders. So we can just go set screenshot, and this will pull down information from the games database using the search string contra3, and there's the results. So the first result is the one we wanted, and we're just going to use this one as our screenshot, and then we might use that as the clear logo, and I don't like that background, so we'll go with that background. Okay, so what you'll see here now is it's created the file for us in that images folder in the layout we need, and we'll go back to the images clear logo. We'll have a similar thing. Yeah, you get the idea. So it's writing those files for us. So we also can do a search here, and this will search Giant Bomb for the game actual metadata, so stuff like its genre, who it was made by, just stuff like that. So what franchise it's a part of. So we want Contra 3, the Alien Wars, which is on Game Boy, Super Nintendo, and the Wii Shop. So that's the one. Update the game information. So that's just pulled down now that Contra Alien Wars is an action shooter game. And we can go here and we can see all of the action shooter games and all of the action games. Go back. And then we'll just can do this for the other games as well. So Super Mario All Stars. Oh yeah, and Mario World. Yeah. Searching. That's the one. Pull down that information. And so on. So you can see how you could very easily keep your images and stuff up to date. In this case, I might be wanting to change all my screenshots to actual box shots, so it's a box art. So yeah, so that's how you keep a simple collection like that up to date. So we also have a huge collection of NES games, so we could import an XML file, and we don't want the Game Boy Advance one. So we can actually import Hyperspin's NES file, for example. Upload that. And so that will read that XML file, import the information that's relevant out of it for us, and fill in the page. So you can see here, unlike the Super Nintendo ones when we imported that, they're all red because they're not active. All it's done is actually import the information, so it's just imported, like, there's a game called Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Dragon Strike, but we haven't associated this record with a file yet. So let's see here, we get ROMs. So you can see here, this is all our ROMs. So we can do a scan, and that will just scan our, so it will try and find each one of these files. And this works very similar to a lot of other front ends, where it'll just look for the certain file name and match it up. So 10 Yard Fight will get matched up with 10 Yard Fight USA Europe, 10 Yard Fight USA Europe. So that will just finish in a second. and it's because we imported from an XML file as well, we get some of the information that was in that XML file. So in this case we got some of the genres as well, so it does save us a bit of time that way. So importing from the XML files is great though if you're wanting to see if you do have every game or whatever. Once this finishes, and there's a lot of files for it to search through. And almost there. Okay, awesome. So that just updates them all, and so now they're all, it's recognized, it's matched them up. So I don't actually have Clash Ball, so that's still red. So you can see where you're missing games, or you might have the game named differently than which is normally the case. So if I just do, if I click here, so the file name is actually Motor City Patrol USA, so we might actually have it and I do. And so in my file name I'm missing the space. So you can see it's very quick to work out, okay, I'm missing these ones, I need these ones. If you don't care about that, you're much better off using the other system of just importing them from the files themselves. But you know, you got that option of having both ways. So what we can do now is we've got a nice collection of ROM files. We've got some metadata associated with them. We've got, so we'll go back. We can get some images to put in as well. Well, let's put that one against the top here too. And so yeah, you can see it's so easy to get your we can actually go to Giant Bomb here too and have a look what they might have. So we might want to use, it's going to be fairly low res, but we could probably use that, and it's low res, but you get the idea. So that's the web interface for our front end. So we can now run the front end. Now the front end has to run in a window at the moment, and that's just because of the streaming, for no other reason than it's streaming. I'm also still working on the skin, so it doesn't look the best. Things aren't lined up yet, but I'll show you some of the skinning stuff soon as well. So you can see here's all our game information, and we can filter based on platform. So this is all the stuff we just imported. Here's our NES games we imported. Now I already had some files in those folders, but there's our 720 degrees with the very poor background, but you get the idea. Yeah, and we can also load up those games because we put in the load string. If it's going to work. For some reason my NES games aren't working at the moment. I don't think it's got anything to do with the front end, it's more my emulator's not working. So let's just try SNES game. There we go. And press escape and we can get out. Yeah, so we also have a skinning engine for this stuff. So we have this file here which is used to create the skin. So we have some information that's running in windowed mode. It's what I was saying before, it works perfectly fine in full screen, but it doesn't record on these on this streaming software. The resolution, so you could type in any sort of resolution and change the skin to fit your screen's needs, but we can also just import static images. So we can just put that there, turn that off here. So this is the rectangle. This is a static rectangle. We'll just turn that static rectangle off. It's commented out. So now that's going to do is render a static image called mediabg.png, and all these images live in a folder with Arcadia itself here. They just live in the actual skins folder, so you have a font and the skin also, and this is just the ID of the skin. So you have main, media background. Okay, so we can, oh, that wouldn't have been good, put that down there. So what we've done is we've just commented out the rectangle that was being drawn, if you remember, around the images, and we're just replacing that with a image now. And so the position, size, and its origin. So we'll save that, press play, and so now you see there's an actual PNG file being rendered there instead, and it doesn't line up properly, but you get the idea. And so we can do anything we want to do in that file. So we could do something a bit different as well by taking our video file here and rendering that above the fan art, making it the same size as our fan art, which are just the backgrounds, and give it the same position, and give it a position of 0, 0, which will draw it in the top corner, and we'll give its origin top left. Let's see here, top left. So that will draw the video file full screen in the top left corner. Save that, compile our, and so now video files will play full screen. So you can see you can do almost, you could do whatever you want with the skinning files. So yeah, still got a lot of work to do, of course, but I hope you've enjoyed this rundown of what I've been working on. Thanks.